Gen Investing. I'm Alex Coffey alongside Jenny Horne. Jenny, a fun conversation here for us is Rivian Automotive is set to report its first earnings as a publicly traded company. Volatility, of course, is juiced up ahead of this, but you know, when you're talking Rivian, like, how much is there to say? Do they make the truck yet? Is it actually being sold? I don't think it is. So it's going to be a lot of talk about the speculation in the future.
That's what I feel like this earnings event is going to be. It's going to be a lot of speculation and a lot of really, I think, guidance from the company going forward on how they can deliver if they're able to make their promise.
They're losing or any of those things. This is all about what is your plan? How are you going to scale out? What is the interest you have? And at what point are you going to be at a point where these numbers matter? And that's why these are interesting reports, because you really don't know how the market will digest information that is very much how you can frame it and sell it to the investing community and the analyst community. So this is as much about how the Rivian executive team can talk about Rivian as it is about what Rivian's actually doing.
I mean, as we know, just from following the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, who's a big promise maker, he was always super optimistic on his earnings calls, which were always so interesting to listen.
If it does not move at all, well, this trade could stand to be profitable if it does not move at all. And then if it just goes down small, but it's still above $100, we can be profitable there. So really the only scenario where this style trade isn't profitable is an outsized move to the downside, which is absolutely a possibility. That's why it's risk defined. And in the end, if it does go all the way through 95 through expiration, we are exposed for $375 plus the fees associated with the trade for every one of these, with a max profit potential of $125. So higher probability, break even 98.75, but all things considered, one that could stand a profit in several situations.
Yeah, multi-directional trades sort of, and also risk defined. Very important, I think, going into this event, as I think now that earnings season has basically completely ended, other than just a few names, that there's a lot, I think, focus on the last few reporting. There's a ton of volume in this name today, so we could see the stock move outside one way or the other. Of course, we're not sure, but I thought it was important that you mentioned that valuation. I'm Jenny Horne, joined by Alex Coffey, and we are sticking with our car conversation, but we're moving it old school, which I guess it's not even fair to say, because these names are doing a great job progressing in this electric process. That's GM and Ford. So we'll start things off with GM. Now, GM underperforming Ford this year significantly, up 42%, which seems ridiculous that that's underperforming Ford, but it is. Ford up over 130% now this year. But GM had some news as of actually yesterday late. I think that that's just, the nature of Ford and its valuation. It doesn't mean necessarily that Ford is not a successful company, just because its stock price isn't as high as, say, Tesla's. It's still, this just gives it a more attractive entry point, say, if you're looking to trade Ford from an options perspective. But that does it for this segment today. Now we will finally stop talking cars and all things EVs. We will switch it up a little bit. We're talking AT&T coming up next following
Thank you, Maria. I'm Alex Coffey alongside Jenny Horne. You're watching Next Gen Investing here on the TD Ameritrade Network. It's time for Under 30, and Jenny, we had what I thought was some interesting names, but let's be honest, kind of boring stocks in Ford and GM. And if Ford and GM are boring, AT&T is a snooze fest in terms of things to talk about. But fortunately, we got TD Ameritrade Network contributor George Tillis here to spice things up. George, talk to us about AT&T. Jenny, the market under pressure, but off the lows here as we kind of round into the final turn. A lot of red on the board, but it's isolated to the tech sector. Mega cap tech is under pressure today.
Yeah, Dow just narrowly hanging on to those gains. We'll have to keep watching this market.